So I'm spending my time to remind people that even though they're trying to put obstacles in front of us, even though they're trying to cheat, because they are trying to cheat, that's not a reason that we just stay in bed and keep the covers over our heads and say, well, to wake me up when it's over. Because things are happening right now. People here are 18 years old or older. Okay. How many people here are 15 or older? And then I think we have some 12-year-olds here. How about 12 and older? That'd be about everybody. Okay. So let me say this. The elections that are coming up in 3 months will determine, depending on if it's local, state, or federal, will determine the next 2 years of your life, the next 4 years of your life, or the next 6 years of your life. Just these elections coming up in 3 months. So part of what we should think about is, what do we want the next 2 years to look like? What do we want the next 4 years to look like? What do we want the next 6 years to look like in our lives? Because these elections will help determine what our government does on a whole lot of issues that will affect us directly and affect our families directly. So, Congressman Richmond, one of the things that I'm doing over these next 3 months is spending a particular lot of time in the South, especially after that Supreme Court case, Calais, which basically undid the Voting Rights Act that was designed to protect black voters and anybody else who was the subject of discrimination around election laws, undid our power to fight for fairness in elections in that regard. So I'm spending my time to remind people that even though they're trying to put obstacles in front of us, even though they're trying to cheat, because they are trying to cheat, that's not a reason that we just stay in bed and keep the covers over our heads and say, well, to wake me up when it's over. Because things are happening right now. And so we have to be active. And one of the ways with the midterms coming up is to be active in making sure we get out the vote. Now, I say that with this group of scholars to say this: although the majority of you cannot vote, anybody in your life who can vote, you will remind them, I know, of how their vote is going to impact you. You will remind them that if they vote or don't vote, it will have an impact on your life in terms of what happens with the education system, what happens with health care, what happens in terms of affordable child care, maybe for your younger brothers and sisters. The decisions that will be made by the people who are elected in November will impact you, and I know that the scholars here will do everything you can to make sure every adult in your life that can vote understands why your future relies on them voting in November.